This teaching is about the essence of life, the pure emptiness that already exists within each of us. I will share this understanding so that you may resolve any doubts about your original nature, your primary element. Through this realization, you will find freedom from all suffering. Free from the cycle of attachment to transient phenomena, my intention is for everyone, children, elderly, disabled, women, men, all genders, all ages, all faiths, all castes, all ethnicities, all nations, wherever they may be, to understand their original nature. This is our true elemental Dharma. That's why I've created this recording. This is tape U8, and will continue with U9, U10, where U stands for universal, meaning it's for all beings. This is universal knowledge, the core truth, the fundamental essence, the original element of all things. This teaching is singular in its purpose for all seekers of wisdom, those searching for refuge, those questioning life's purpose. Many ask themselves, why were we born? Where did we truly come from? We dwell in these temporary bodies, which are destined to die. These bodies cannot last long, they arise only to dissolve. Even this world itself arose only to dissolve. So where do we truly exist? This is the origin we must understand. Then we can finally close the cycle of deluded rebirth. You see, if we were never born, that would be the complete end. We would no longer need to inhabit physical forms, seek food for this body, search for comfortable shelter, find a home, or seek medicine to prevent aging and illness. Yet ultimately, this body must age, fall ill, and die. This body is born to die, born to dissolve. Even this world itself is born to dissolve. What remains is one thing, the pure element, the original life essence. And then there are conditions. Right now, our original element dwells in conditions. As long as it dwells in conditions, it continues to be born, taking birth in vessels without end. As water creatures we are eaten, as land animals we are eaten, as winged beings we are eaten, as underground creatures we are eaten. Even as humans, we remain subject to the laws of aging and illness until our bodies dissolve. Then we fall into delusion and are born again, cycling endlessly. This is called the cycle of conditioned existence, going round and round. We can now free ourselves from this system. This is a system of mind lacking wisdom. Our pure element lacks wisdom. Therefore, we must provide knowledge, give wisdom to this element. When our pure element awakens to understand that it is the pure element, let me be clearer, we are not this body. The speaking voice is merely a condition, not us. Mental images are merely conditions, not us. Even emotional conditions, liking, disliking, neutrality, these are conditions, not us. This knowing right now, this awareness, hearing sounds, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, these are conditions of knowing. All these conditions of knowing are not us completely. They are merely conditions. If none of these are us, what remains? What remains is the empty life essence, clear and utterly pure. We are this pure element itself. When our pure element realizes the truth that it is the pure element, when we know we are this element, which is not difficult at all, we need only remain inwardly awake. Listen closely to this teaching. I'm creating these recordings now, trying to make 2 tapes each day, though time is limited. Whether many or few will progress steadily until we reach 100 tapes, preserved as a heritage for this world. This teaching, this practice, is the singular goal that our mind truly seeks to understand. As we've often asked ourselves, why were we born? What do we truly want? Even with houses, cars, everything. We still feel this isn't what we're seeking. What is it we truly want? This deep inner feeling. This deep inner feeling is the life essence, empty, clear and pure, trying to communicate through various conditions, sounds, mental images, emotions. This knowing condition, our thoughts that arise with sounds, images, emotions, and awareness constantly appearing. These conditions are in flux. I am using these conditions to point out to you that the empty, clear life essence, this utterly pure element, our element that is so pure, merges as one with all things in the infinite universe. We are this element. It is communicating, using spoken language with us. This is not truly sound, though we call it sound, isn't it? It's merely a rippling condition within the clear element. The mental images we think are also just rippling conditions within the clear element. Let us turn inward to our mind, turn inward carefully, and try speaking within our heart. Say internally, I want to eat watermelon. I want to eat watermelon. Big pieces of watermelon, cut into slices. Do we see the image appearing in our mind? Do we hear the voice speaking in our mind? Try speaking internally, without making sound. Speak within. Do you see that within our mind there is no mouth? Yet how can we speak? Who is it that's seeing? One that is knowing, seeing right here, aware of this sound. The one that is knowing and the one speaking internally. These two function together as rippling conditions within our clear life element. This empty life essence, utterly pure and clear. This element is so clear. Our life essence is this element, which has no spoken language, does not speak. It is empty, clear, neither coming nor going, neither arising nor ceasing, neither dark nor bright, without distance. It occupies no space, has no time. It is the clear element. Let us try erasing the entire universe. Erase the sun, stars, black holes, erase it all. Erase darkness, erase light, erase all things completely. What remains is only clarity, empty clarity within, present in everything. It is the empty, clear element. We are this element, the one in all in one. We are one with this clear element. We are the totality. Understanding, yes? There is no distance. Our empty, clear life essence is one with the empty, clear essence throughout the infinite universe. All is one, without distance, as mentioned, without time. It exists everywhere, unified with everything. Because when we think of going to the stars, to Mars, just by thinking we are there. Think we're on the sun, and instantly we're there. Now think we are near the sun, close by, standing on its lava surface. Try imagining it. Why don't we feel pain, ache, or heat? Because these are merely images appearing within our mind. Why can there be sound in the mind? Why can there be images in the mind? Yet why is there one nature that knows? The conditions of knowing, thinking, and these mental images are constantly rippling conditions within the empty clarity, rippling as sound, rippling as images, rippling as the condition of knowing, rippling as emotions, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutrality. These are rippling conditions appearing within our empty, pure life essence. These things are not the clear element itself, but merely conditions, like water, which is our life essence. This clear water has conditions of movement. That is a condition. It is merely a condition, conditions that function, like when we throw a stone into water. At the moment of first impact, awareness occurs, then comes the effect, the rippling. Imagine a clear droplet of water floating before us. When we touch this clear droplet with our finger, or when something impacts it, or even when wind touches it, rippling occurs on the water's surface. Because water has surface tension, when something impacts it, the water ripples all around. Our mind is like this. I use this analogy to help you visualize. But if we truly come to know it, it is a clear element without any form, utterly empty and pure. If we remove this, there would be nothing that is us. The point is, we must reach this element, and then we will understand all things. This is the key point. Right now, we've come to believe we are this body, haven't we? Now we believe we are human, don't we? When we step back, withdraw from this body, retreat inward, we begin to see sound, images, emotions, and the condition of knowing at work. We withdraw further, pull back from emotions. Then emotions no longer remain. We could say we erase emotions. Withdraw inward, mental images disappear. Withdraw inward, sound disappears. Keep withdrawing inward, erasing all these conditions completely. As we keep withdrawing inward, all these conditions disappear, even the condition of knowing. When we withdraw completely, even the knowing condition is not us. It becomes a distant outer condition. Now as we withdraw deeply, all conditions fade away. When we reach this ultimate point, what remains is only the empty, clear life essence. I'm telling you that this is how it is, but the point is you must see and understand. To see and understand means we must reach this empty, pure life essence. It wants to know what it truly is, but it cannot speak because it is utterly pure, a completely clear element without any conditions within it. Therefore, it must create instruments, conditions, energy, conditions that function all around it. Like the sun that radiates heat energy around itself, emits electromagnetic waves, radiates light. These are the sun's conditions, understand? This empty, pure life essence can be called mind, or it can be called the element of truth. Our life, or this mind, creates conditions as instruments, creates conditions of sound, conditions of images, conditions of emotions, conditions that function to be aware of these things and aware of all external things. All these conditions are instruments, not us. This must be understood. Thus, this speaking sound is not sound, and no one speaks. Right now, as we are aware of this sound. This condition of knowing can be observed from within. We'll see that this knowing condition knows itself. The point is, where our self? Let this pure life essence answer by itself. Let it answer on its own. No need to conclude, no need to do anything. Just observe and continue understanding. Understand and observe. If speaking occurs, we are not speaking. If this sound is not our sound, and this knowing is knowing itself. When insight penetrates deeply within, it's as if we're diving deeper and deeper, waiting for this element to answer, waiting for this element to generate a feeling. Then it will explode. Boom. Brilliance arises, and we break free from human identity. We can break free at any moment. From waking to sleeping, whether walking, standing, sitting, lying down, eating, drinking, bathing, playing, driving, or even being busy with work, while taking a walk, while exercising, while cooking, while doing laundry. These conditions occur in every moment, and we are ready to break free in any moment. Keep understanding. Listen to all my teaching recordings frequently. Listen extensively. Listen again and again. Listen at least 10 times. If after 10 times you haven't been moved to tears, keep listening. Go through every recording. Listen until sudden insight arises, until understanding of this element emerges. When understanding comes, we will know everything. We will understand what I am conveying. You must prove it yourself. You must see it yourself. I am merely pointing the way for you to see. You must overcome this game. Grasp this one principle. We have studied other subjects all our lives, but this subject we have not yet learned. Come and study it now. Come study within the life essence, your own pure element. You've studied external things enough. Now practice studying within. From now on, listen to my recordings every day, listen often, and mindfully observe within. Who is hearing the sound right now? Observe now. Observe in this moment. Now. Look just at this moment. Now is always here. Now is present all the time. That 1 second of now that just passed is finished, ceased, completely gone. But now, and it's gone again. This speaking sound is gone, the sound vanishes again. Do you see? The sound that rippled impacted our mind, and our mind rippled in awareness. Then both disappeared. The condition of sound that impacts and the condition that knows the impact both appear together and vanish together. See? Gone again. When speaking occurs, it arises, then vanishes again. It appears now and instantly becomes past. Appears now and instantly vanishes. Everything appears and dissolves instantly. Everything appears and dissolves instantly. This sound appears and dissolves instantly as words, as mental images we think. Images appear now. Think of three cats playing together. The image appears after a moment, the image is gone. Think of the emotion of satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutrality, which arise every time we think, every time we imagine. Satisfaction arises when things go as we think or imagine. But whenever we think or imagine and things don't go as we think or imagine, dissatisfaction arises. Thinking is this sound. Imagining is creating images. Try thinking in your mind. Try saying internally. A big durian, month-long variety, really big, about 2 kilos, huge one. Open it up with really large segments. Do you see the image? Do you hear the voice in your mind? If we got one that big, with about 5 large segments, if we ate it, it must be delicious for sure. As we imagine this, do you see? A feeling of satisfaction arises. But if by chance we think and have no money to buy it, no funds, no means to purchase, can't eat it, all the good ones have been taken by others, we can't have it. Emotions of boredom, frustration, dissatisfaction arise. Understand? Every time we think, we imagine, and things aren't as we think or imagine, dissatisfaction arises. But if things are as we think and imagine, satisfaction arises. Whether emotions become sound, mental images or feelings, all of these appear to the knowing condition. The knowing condition functions to know this sound, this image, this emotion, understand. The condition of knowing and the condition of mental formation appear together and dissolve together. Because without the condition that receives awareness, nothing can be known, correct? All of this is the instrument of our empty, pure life essence. We are this element. This is the original primal element we think of before there was a universe, before there were stars, before there was darkness, before there was anything at all. There was only empty clarity, a clear element, utterly empty and clear. This element was the cosmic womb in which no universe dwelled, nothing at all existed, just clarity within. Then a single point exploded. We call it the Big Bang, right? Something exploded, creating mass energy, then formed into shapes, material elements, stars. At this moment of initial formation, our life essence already dwelled in that empty clarity, already was one with it. In the beginning, all was one substance. Then our life essence received impact from that. That phenomenon emerges in pure emptiness. When the life element receives contact, its inherent nature transforms, instantly creating reactions and instruments. This is natural. The pure, clear, empty life element is natural. It exists as it is. When something makes contact, it transforms into certain manifestations, like the nature of water. When something touches water, it ripples in response, creating effects that continue to ripple. In those initial moments of contact, awareness first arises. The rippling effects continue, just like this pure, empty element. When something makes contact, it creates a manifestation, forming into a perceptible state, like the surface tension of water. Water has surface tension, doesn't it? Similarly, the life element creates this surface tension. It creates this pure elemental substance to receive contact. When something makes contact, be it light or energy, it functions to perceive, and then ripples arise to give value and meaning to that thing. Yet it cannot assign a value to define what that thing is, for it has no form. It can only perceive and ripple, but cannot understand what it is. This rippling awareness is a natural state of perception. When this life element receives contact and ripples in awareness, it now holds the state of being aware. This nature holds the state of awareness. and holds as if beginning to form the appearance of perception by itself. Then it seeks to learn further what that thing is. Even of itself, it does not know what it is. Do we understand that we don't know what we are? Let me point out to you that we are this pure, empty life element. Yet when we first existed as this element, we didn't know we were this element. Even now, none of us knows that we are this pure, pristine element. Instead, we think we are human beings. We understand ourselves as human. This physical form cannot last long. Perhaps tomorrow or this evening, it may dissolve. This body is ready to die at any moment. I tell you this to know. When this body ceases to function, what remains is this life element along with its manifestations, drifting to seek a new vessel. Born as various beings to become food for other things. Do you understand? Now our life element has dwelt with these rippling manifestations for so long, until presently residing in this body. We are fortunate to have heard this teaching of the pure, empty, pristine life element. This is the only teaching that no one has explained with such clarity. We must understand this, must reach this element. We will be free from everything, free from suffering, free from birth. We will become an immortal element so pure and clear that it cannot be imagined. When we have no form, we will be a life element of utmost clarity and purity. Without form, without sound as instrument, without image, without emotion, without the state of knowing, nothing exists within it. We are that pure, pristine element which is supremely pure, supremely great, supremely excellent. If we reach it, we will weep, we will marvel. We will know that we are not anything, yet we are everything in that totality. There is nothing in it, only supreme purity that far exceeds what we call happiness in this world. Whatever is called happiness in this world, this element is all of that and far beyond. Then it will see worldly happiness as merely life elements wandering in delusion like this. When we step back to see and continue listening to my recordings, it won't take long. No more than 7 days, 7 months, or not beyond a month. If foolish, it may take longer, but we must be wise. We must be wise. Overcome this game, overcome this ignorance. Reach the element, overcome our delusion of relying on these instruments. Now we mistakenly believe we are human. Overcome that belief. We are not human. Overcome sound, mental images, emotions, and the state of knowing. These things are not ours. See that these things are not ours. When we see this, everything will return to its natural state, released from manifestations. These manifestations are not ours. They fall away because they are not ours. Like when we leave this body is not ours, and it decays, which is the body's nature. But we have already been released. Now there remains another part not yet released: sound, image, emotion, and the state of perception. These have not yet fallen away, even memory and recognition too, but let's not speak of those now. Let's keep it at this, because as we continue stepping back, we see these manifestations are not us. Even this sound being heard, it is not us who hears. This element performs its own function of knowing. It is not us, it is merely the manifestation of hearing sound, merely its own manifestation of knowing. And this sound is just its own working manifestation. This sound has no self. Understand this point. When you understand it, tears will flow because it is so unburdened. Listen to my recordings and you will feel unburdened, unburdened, and unburdened to the ultimate point of release. Once released, this is ultimate unburdening because there is no form. When there is no form, it is light, very unburdened. Like being released from human existence, released until no feeling of being human remains. When we see everything in this world that humans strive for, claiming it brings great happiness, good in this way and that, once we are released, we will see how pitiful worldly beings are. How pitiful all of us are on this earth. Do you know we are all in delusion? Deluded by things that don't truly exist, deluded by things that have no real self. It's like we're dreaming. Now we're in a dream world. We believe everything is real, excellent, sublime, bringing great happiness, very good, ultimately wealthy, ultimately good, ultimately excellent, ultimately concentrated, ultimately happy, however ultimate it may be. When we awaken from this dream world, we will see that none of it truly had any self-existence at all. Then we will weep, and we will wonder how to tell everyone, how to tell them, because they believe it all exists. All of us believe we are human beings already, but in truth, we have never been born into this world. We are the life element. Whenever we step back inward, this teaching thus becomes greatly challenging for us. Let all seekers come and verify this. We will be completely free from suffering, free from everything. And when we reach this, we will live in this world without attachment, without clinging. When we are sick, when we are in great pain, we will see that the pain is merely something that is not us. We will see that this manifestation of speaking now is not us. We will clearly see that the speaking is not us speaking. The laughing is not us laughing, yet it continues its functioning. This instrument performs its function. The pain sensation. Have you ever been in great pain? Or pain when having fever, body aches, soreness all over? These manifestations, once we reach this pure life element, we will see them as merely something, merely a natural phenomenon that exists as such. But it has nothing to do with us. It is a natural phenomenon existing as such, but it has nothing to do with us. Even when this body dies, we will see it dying, but it is not us who dies, do you understand? We will see this body stop breathing. We will see everything, the pain sensations, the thoughts of this and that, the mental images that arise, the emotions that become this way and that way. All of this, all manifesting appearances, all that knows. None of this is us at all. An inner knowing will arise. What have we been deluding ourselves about? Nothing is us. And we will laugh at everything in this world. We will ask, what have we all been searching for? This is the answer. When we step back until we're released from it, it will release itself. Listen to my recordings often. With understanding, it will become lighter. The more you listen, the lighter it becomes, the more it clicks, and tears will flow, tears will flow, tears will flow. Unburdened, as if we are losing our sense of self, we begin to lose the notion that we are we. We used to believe we are human beings, right? Now we believe this body is our body, correct? Now try stretching out your hand in front of you and look at it. Does it speak whether it's left or right hand? Does it speak? Who says it's left hand, right hand? It's this sound that speaks, isn't it? But does this thing itself speak? Try turning your palm up and down. Does it say it's palm up or palm down? Does it say these are thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky? Try opening and closing your hand. It doesn't say this is opening or closing the hand. There is only knowing like this, only knowing, knowing without anyone knowing, knowing without story. Try to see. It's only this sound that tells us this is left hand, right hand. This is opening the hand. This is finger, this is leg. This sound speaks, but this thing doesn't speak. Can you see? Just this simple. When we see that all of this we think ourselves, it's this sound that gives value to everything. Try looking at things in our house. They don't say what they are. This thing doesn't say it's a phone either, but this sound says it's a phone even with a brand name. This body doesn't say what it is, but we give names to this body. We assign names to this body. This body doesn't know what its name is. It can arise and it can dissolve. It has its lifespan, and we have only a short time dwelling with it. While dwelling with this body mass, we seek to feed this body, do everything to nourish this body mass, finding shelter, protecting from cold winds, protecting from hot weather, protecting from various dangers, taking this body to those places, giving food for this body to eat, because if there is no food for this body to eat, this body will decay and die, finding clothes for this body to wear, and bringing medicine for this body when sick or ill. We must care for this body from waking until sleep. while never having known what we are. Therefore, this teaching, when we study it, when we listen to it, will still be a bit difficult to understand, because we have already believed we are human beings. But this teaching will lead us back to the origin. I am taking us to find the original element, the primordial element, like before the universe existed. The primordial element was pure empty clarity, and then came the Big Bang. Energy dispersed from that explosion point, forming tiny matter particles, gathering to become stars, then rotating around themselves, becoming suns, and forming many solar systems. Vast amounts of dust particles gathered together, expanding continuously and forming into galaxies, forming into universes, until life arose. The minds came to dwell in the elemental matter existing on those stars. Mind attached to elemental matter since the earliest times and began forming into living things. Single cell, 2 cells, 3 cells, 4 cells, forming, gathering, dividing, until becoming the largest animals, or becoming water creatures, land creatures, underground creatures, or winged creatures as the case may be. Becoming numerous life forms with shapes and taking possession of them. When mind dwells in elemental matter, it causes that elemental matter to take on living form. Then the mind begins to believe it is that creature. This is the beginning point. We were first born in that ancient era so long ago. We have changed bodies countless times. We have changed bodies so many times already. Which body is our body? This is the question. What kind of body is our body? What are we really? We have been everything. Whether underground creatures, we were born as those things before. Whether worms, tiny creatures, we have been all of them. Earthworms, we were born as earthworms before. We were born as water creatures, land creatures, winged creatures. We have been born as every kind, and we believed we truly were that creature at that time. Do you understand? Suppose when we are a fish and are eaten, do we suffer? Yes, we suffer because we believe we are the fish, and we feel pain, harboring vengeance toward other creatures. In truth, other creatures are also minds. When one mind dwells in a vessel, it must seek food. It's a law of nature. When minds dwell in vessels, they are compelled to seek food, and they eat each other too. Like when they eat us, we are eaten and feel pain, anger, energy arises. Energy called angry emotion. Then we are born as another type of creature to eat that creature in return. Back and forth, eating each other, harming each other, creating mutual affliction. In this life, born as this person's father. In another life, born as this person's child. In another life, born as friends. In another life, born as enemies. In another life, born as father and child again, harming each other again. In one life, born as quarreling parents, as quarreling mother and child, born as quarreling friends, or born as loving friends. It goes back and forth, taking revenge on each other like this, repaying each other according to what we remember, remembering that knowledge. They have eaten us many times, born as fish eating us. That mind doesn't know, our mind doesn't know. We don't know at all that we are the empty, pure life element. We never know that we are this element. Whatever we are born as, we never learn about our own life element. This is the point. Let's start anew. If our empty, pure life is truly pure, extremely clear, merging with everything, our element is one with everything. Like our life element is a single water drop taken from the ocean. All life elements are like a single drop taken from the ocean. Try taking a drop of water from the ocean and returning it to its original place. Return one drop to the ocean. We cannot find our drop at all, yet we are the entire ocean itself. That is us, do you understand? But when we take out one drop of water, we are this drop. This is us, do you understand? Because it has been separated. Whenever it is returned to its original place, it becomes one with the whole again as before. If our life now dwells in here, dwells in this mass of manifestations, our life creates manifestations to envelop itself. Manifestations of sound, image, emotion, these manifestations. Our life creates these manifestations to envelop itself, to have form and appearance, separating itself from the pure, empty element in the infinite universe, separating itself first. As an analogy, this pure, empty element that is all one unified substance is like the pure emptiness before us that cannot be touched. This pure emptiness is not air. Air dwells within this pure emptiness. But this pure emptiness before us, or all throughout the infinite universe, how can we divide it? By enveloping it, right? We could use soap bubbles, create soap bubbles to envelop this pure emptiness. Now it's separated. There is pure emptiness inside this bubble, now separated, with this bubble barrier preventing connection. Now this pure emptiness begins to believe that this bubble is its appearance, is its body, because it now has form. At first there was no form, merging with everything. Now there is form, and it believes it is this bubble. This is the manifestation. This is the beginning point of creating this thing, creating a clear membrane or surface tension. Let's call it a bubble. Creating surface tension or outer surface, or call it a bubble to envelope itself. Its true nature is pure emptiness, but after creating this to envelope itself, it believes it is this bubble, now having form. Being a form that is clear form. When something makes contact, like wind touching the bubble, awareness arises and it ripples. It can ripple, understand? Or whatever makes contact, it will ripple in awareness and then can ripple into further formations. This rippling manifestation itself can ripple into sound, can ripple into images. Try speaking in your mind. This sound will be there. It can speak in the mind. Without a mouth, it can speak. Images can also appear in the mind, even though there's no image-making device. Emotions can arise, even though there is nothing at all. In our mind, it is empty, clear, extremely pure. If our life, but it can create emotions. Anger emotion, which has no self, is merely a manifestation. Emotions of happiness, sadness, satisfaction, dissatisfaction, neutral emotions, or emotions of all types, are merely certain manifestations created to be used as instruments arising from this bubble. Understand? When this bubble encounters different causes and conditions, it can change colors too. This bubble changes to darkness, called suffering emotions, changes to white, called happy emotions, changes to red, called anger emotions. It can change colors into emotions and can also ripple into sounds and images too. Do you understand this point? You must understand, if life just wants to know what it is, that is, we just want to know what we really are, that's all. When creating this, it's like we're relying on this sound, relying on the speaking sound. We think, we speak continuously. This is not us. The images we visualize are not us. All emotions are not us. They are merely manifestations. This that knows is not us either. It's merely the rippling manifestations of this bubble, understand? Now, when it receives contact, it still cannot understand everything. It sees elemental matter arising in the emptiness of the universe, or the Big Bang occurring, and elemental matter arising. At first, the pure element attaches to that thing immediately. This element runs forth first, because it wants to learn what that thing is. It attaches to that elemental matter, to that cell, to that thing. Once attached, that cell begins to have life because this life element dwells within it, understand? We are the pure, empty life element, but we have forgotten what we are. Now, when we have created this clear film to envelope ourselves, able to ripple into formations, we begin to believe we are this form. These rippling manifestations are us. We believe this sound is us speaking, us thinking, us having emotions, us knowing, even though these are merely manifestations and nothing more. This is not us. Understand this point first. This is unknowing. Let's say if our life wants to learn but comes to rely on this, once relying, It has relied on it all along, that's all. Now the method is to guide us back, called going against the stream. Come to know inside sometimes. Come to know our pure, empty life element sometimes. We are being deluded outward. Now we can return home. We have been deluded outward for long. Understand this. Overcome this game, overcome this clarity. Let us reach it. Through listening, listen to understand. Use wisdom alone. Wisdom that doesn't come from using the brain. Using wisdom means that we have understood to the heart, reached into the heart, until this life element awakens. While listening, our pure, empty life element will begin to awaken. Soon it will awaken. Soon it will begin to feel like wanting to listen all the time. Wanting to listen, wanting to know what it is, wanting to know what it is. It will want to know, it will awaken. This is the state of awakening. This understanding will bloom greatly, with a feeling of wondering what it is. This teaching was never known before, but it feels right. This is what we want to know, yet it doesn't know what it is. Understand? If life doesn't know what it is, but it wants to know what it is, understand this. This is the single most excellent teaching. No other teaching, when we reach it, will make everything stop. When we have learned this teaching until reaching it, we will be released from human existence, released from all knowledge in this world completely. We will become the pure, empty life element, merging with the entire infinite universe. When we become this element, we will stop seeking everything completely. Everything in this world. When we say stop seeking here, it means this life element no longer needs to know anything. But we still have this physical form, right? It hasn't stopped functioning, so we must stay with this body until its lifespan ends. When this body stops functioning, that's the end. This life element will no longer seek a new body to be born again. We will become an immensely great immortal element. We will be free from everything. It is everything. Reach this element, and we will know by ourselves. Like when we eat until full, we will know by ourselves that we are full. It is enough. It is excellent. It is at ease. However it may be, we will know it ourselves. Just reach that. Share my universal Dharma of freedom from suffering. Share it on YouTube, Facebook. Freedom comes through knowing. Share it so everyone in this world can listen. Little children, let them listen. Children, elderly, disabled, women, men. Let them listen all the time. I will make recordings of Dharma of freedom from suffering. Universal Dharma recordings of freedom from suffering. Hundreds of recordings. We'll make many, hoping for all nationalities, all religions, everyone to listen, to realize, to be free from suffering. Then peace will arise in this world. No one will harm each other. Everyone will love and unite completely. It's like when all of us have been released from this world, released from human existence, like we clearly know that this body is not us. All knowledge we've known from birth until now, nothing is us. Even this sound is not us. Mental images, emotions, this state of knowing, nothing is us. We are released into a natural state that is beyond the world, a purity that is extremely pure. It is everything, but we are not this thing. Like we have ventured outside the world and looked down upon it, seeing humans swarming, tiny, not knowing what they're doing, like termites searching for something unknown. We will feel, what are they searching for? What are they doing? Why seek food? We no longer need to eat. This pure element no longer needs to eat, needs to seek nothing. No need to struggle, to compete, to harm, to kill each other, to destroy each other. Why fight over land? Let us look from outside the world, looking into the world, or looking from the sky, looking down to the earth, seeing them quarreling, bombing, destroying each other, fighting over land. Doesn't the earth remain as earth? Then why fight? Fight for what? Water remains as it is, so why fight over water? Why fight over air? Fight over territory. Why fight? Quarrel for what? What are you seeking? Pitiful are the humans of the world. Pitiful are the beings of the world. Pitiful is everything in this world. What are you doing? What are you seeking? From waking up, you swarm out seeking something, then return to your nests. Seek and return to nest, eat and sleep, then die. Born to eat, sleep, and die. Born, then eat, sleep, and die. What are you doing? What are you seeking? Understand. What are you seeking? Were you born just for this? It is disheartening. So pitiful are the beings of the world. While we, when we fully step back until realizing this elemental truth, we will weep. Then we will feel light and unburdened. No trace of human existence remains. Nothing remains as self. Then there's no fear of pain, no fear of ache, no fear of anything at all. It lives on in this world, but it has nothing to do with us. Speaking here, we're relying on it, but truly we're not relying on it. This sound function speaks by itself. The body makes its own living, gets sick by itself, dies by itself. Mental images think by themselves, emotions exist by themselves, everything functions by itself completely. This knowing here knows by itself, but we have no connection with any of these instruments. When we are released, we weep until it's utterly marvelous. Don't know how to tell humans about this, because humans cannot understand. Must listen to my recordings extensively, and it won't take long, truly no more than 7 days. But if wisdom is a bit lacking, not skilled, or not good at playing games, this game, if someone who's not skilled takes 1 month, that's considered good. But if beyond 1 month, it means not very skilled at this game. This game must be won, that's all, because we have been losing all along, been dragged along all along. From now on must win. Don't attach to this sound. This speaking sound is not our sound. See that this sound speaks by itself. See that it thinks by itself. See that it has emotions by itself. Just observe. Just observe. This knowing here knows by itself, hears by itself. Like when we're sitting and a child passes gas, it smells by itself, hears sound by itself. See how it hears sound by itself. If we become aware, it knows by itself and then suddenly realizes, while it's knowing, knowledge arises that this knowing here knows by itself. At this point, listen to my recordings. Soon it will happen. We will feel light and unburdened. Tears will flow. And listening, we will become deeply attached to my universal Dharma recordings of freedom from suffering. We will become deeply attached, and there's a feeling of challenge. The more we listen, the more challenging it feels. The more we listen, the more we understand. It seems we understand, but we still don't understand. We understand, but haven't yet reached it. It will be like this until finally we are at ease, listening continuously, at ease. While washing clothes, suddenly we hear the sound of a child slamming the door. Boom. When we hear that boom, we are startled. We see the startled reaction happening by itself, and the knowing of sound by itself. Then thinking in the mind, why close it so hard? Seeing the voice speaking by itself saying, why close it so hard? When it can see this, tears will flow abundantly, and release happens right then, at the moment of seeing that this life element witnesses these manifestations. The life element creates these manifestations. Finally, when this life element comes inside us, going against the stream, listening to my recordings and going against the stream inward, the life element begins to see that these manifestations it has relied on for so long are not us. Then why do we rely on them? This speaking sound is not us, not us. So why do we rely on it? Why do we attach to this sound? When they curse at us, we get angry. Why get angry? It's not anyone's sound, it's merely something. The anger emotion gets angry by itself, so why do we suffer? It rejoices by itself, it's neutral by itself, everything is by itself. There is no us here, so why do we suffer with these things? It will break free by itself until it truly breaks free. Once released, there will be no more self. At this point, no trace of self remains. But whenever thoughts arise like, I am the best, I am the most skilled person. I am the most excellent. I am God. I am this or that. This is not it yet. We are still thinking. If truly reaching it, truly complete, no sense of self will remain. There will be no boasting of goodness or skill, no self-aggrandizement. It will just know that there is no more self and no more suffering. When more and more of us become like this, we talk, it will be something truly marvelous. Only marvelous things. Let children listen to these recordings too. Children understand very quickly. When a child achieves this, they will tell us about it. They will weep, and they will suffer no more. Their life will change. They will become good people, and wise and capable too. Then teach one another, tell one another, share it widely. Once we experience release from human existence, there will be no feeling of, I am good, I am skilled. There is no, we are good, we are skilled. There will be only compassion, wanting to tell everyone, wanting to help everyone, just that. Now, when we begin to tell others, having been properly released, having properly realized being at ease, many people, life will be without cursing each other, without quarreling, without speaking ill, without anger, without hatred. Life will be about sharing with each other. What's the point of being poor or rich when we can share even a single plate of rice? What's the point of fighting and killing each other when nothing is truly us? Instead, we live together, accommodating each other, sharing with each other. Different countries unite, becoming one country. Even if divided into different countries, there is no fighting. Different countries help each other, assist each other. Everyone will be united, helping each other live together in complete peace and happiness. Because nothing is us. Why fight and compete? Why want to be rich not knowing what for? Only sharing. Those who have share with those who don't have help those who do. Help people, help neighbors, help each other. Everyone helps each other. What's the point of being lazy? Help each other with work, because this life is the final lifetime. We have realized and will know we want to stay in the world, want to fulfill our duty from now on. Suppose now we are 50 years old. Suppose we have 20 more years from now. We will help everyone in this world. We will share with each other, support each other, everyone becoming like this, because they are free. Free from suffering, free from everything. When free, what's the point of struggling, competing, contending? What's the point of harming each other? Only sharing with each other, helping each other, doing our best, helping fully, developing this world. Develop everyone to be capable, to be excellent, all of them, for the final time. Teach one another to understand our pure element until everyone understands the pure element more and more and more. This world will be peaceful and happy, because there will be no harming each other, nothing at all, only helping each other, because this life is the final lifetime. Let us imagine, if we will not be born again with 1 year remaining. Suppose we have 1 year left, and we will not be born again. No more suffering. We are completely free. What should we do with this 1 year? We will teach everyone, tell everyone to be free like us. We will tell everyone not to quarrel, not to harm each other, not to desire wealth, because even when wealthy you still eat just 1 plate of rice. Share with each other. When they realize like us, realize their own pure element like us, they too will feel, why want to be rich? And they will share, they will help, they will pass it on, they will teach, letting everyone listen to my recordings, sharing them completely. Tell everyone to come listen, learn this teaching, and everyone will be free from all suffering. When everyone has listened to my universal Dharma recordings of freedom from suffering, every child in this world will realize, will be completely free. Every child will become someone who lives from now on for the benefit of each other. They will not harm each other anymore. Let us help spread this. Everyone in this world should come listen to the Dharma, my teaching of the empty, clear, pure life element. Everyone must come listen to this teaching first, then go learn other subjects, because it will make everyone not quarrel, not harm each other. They will live together in complete peace and happiness. And why? Because everyone is free. Free from human existence, free from all matters in this world, free from suffering. The suffering we once sank into with various painful manifestations will be no more. There will be only good things as we live together. Bad things will not arise, only good things, because everyone no longer needs to struggle to overcome each other, because they know nothing is self. When nothing is self, we don't know why we would struggle to seek anything for ourselves. There will be only giving, there will be only giving, there will be only peace, tranquility. This is what I am trying to help us understand. The primordial element that is our original, true, primal element, so that we understand what great benefits will arise for this world. There will be only prosperity and unity, because everyone has limited time remaining. They will help each other, support each other until the final day, so that no one suffers again and is not born again. No one will be born again, because everyone will know this truth. Everyone will learn this teaching, will know that we are the empty, clear, pure life element, which we need not seek any duty for. We already have it together. Do not attach to this sound. This sound is merely a manifestation. Do not attach to mental images that arise. These are merely manifestations functioning by themselves. These phenomena operate on their own. The sound of my speaking now operates on its own. Remember this. These mental images operate on their own. Don't cling to them. They are merely phenomena that arise and pass away. They appear and then vanish. When speaking occurs, it's there. When it stops, it's gone. Do you see? These are just manifestations of the pure, empty life essence, like ripples at the edge of pure consciousness. As for all emotions, whatever kind they may be, leave them be. Observe carefully. They are merely self-operating phenomena. Irritation arises by itself. Happiness arises by itself. Joy arises by itself. Sadness and suffering arise by themselves. They all function on their own. Let these phenomena appear and dissolve according to their nature. Don't interfere with them. They perform their functions for us. We are the life essence. These phenomena perform their functions for us. Even this awareness is a phenomenon performing its function for us. There is no self in any phenomenon. Even this physical body performs its work for us. It speaks for us, walks for us, lives for us, shares for us. It ages, gets sick, and dies according to its nature. Do you understand? When there's a chance to see a doctor, take the body to see one. If there's no money, let it be. No need for treatment. Live with lightness and ease. When our pure essence dwells in comfort, the body will naturally follow in wellness and comfort. Everything will be well. We will be radiant, joyful, at ease always. This is the most challenging game, the most challenging teaching, challenging all of us to realize it. Whoever realizes it becomes one who conquers the cycle we've been deluded into being born in. Then, we will become ones free from all suffering. We will have only sharing, not boasting of self. If anyone boasts of self, saying, "I am good, I am skilled, I am this or that," this is not it. This is playing with thoughts, still holding on. Remember that nothing is us, and there is no us being good or skilled people. There is only boundless giving. Appropriate to the time, I will stop here. May all of us, across every nation, ethnicity, race, religion, and from children to the elderly, bear witness to this pure and empty essence of life. With all Buddhas as our witnesses, from this moment forward, I shall diligently listen to this Dharma, maintain inner awakening, and observe thoughts, contemplations, emotions, and conditions, recognizing them as natural phenomena, not self, not mine. I shall not cling to any condition. There will be no more rebirth. This life shall be the last. Once enlightened in Dharma, I shall teach descendants and acquaintances to maintain inner awakening. not to be deluded by thoughts, contemplations, and emotions until my last breath, as an offering to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for watching and engaging with these teachings on awakening. If you found them meaningful, we would deeply appreciate your support through subscribing, liking the video, or sharing your thoughtful comments below.